Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Farm Sim 22. Angel Mountain map 16 times. Huge challenge playthrough. Trying to save up 10 million liters of every product on the map. There's over 280 products. Let's get to it. You can see we're getting some snow. Let's go fetch some animals. I think I'm gonna get cows again this time. I counted up the herd here for our sheep and our kind of meat cows. And I think we could use more cows before we get more sheep. So let's get that going. In between episodes, man, oh man, did I mine a lot of ore. Mostly salt. We have like almost 3 million saved up. We'll take a look when we get back. I mined a lot of salt, topped off coal on all of our factories. Obviously, I think the drill rig can probably take more coal. That thing has a storage of 2 million. It has maybe close to 500,000. I didn't do too much there. However, I did put coal into the train station right near the coal mine. So we have a bunch of coal in there. More than a million. Might be close to 2 million coal at the train station, ready to take over to the oil rig if we want to, when we need to. We'll take a look at that stuff in a minute. This episode, we want to get back to doing forestry. Let's see. Kind of stuck. I can't pass, and I want to show you the map too. So yeah, we have a bunch of forestry to do below fields 26 and 25. And north of or above fields 22 and 24. That's where we're going to plant a ton of grapevines. Don't know that we'll do the planting in the winter. We do have a lot of trees to clear out there, tons. We got started on it. I did bring some over to the sawmill. So the sawmill's looking pretty good, but it has room for a whole lot more. We'll get to doing that after we get these cows and just kind of look at some other options. Let's see, you're pulling here. Whoops, I just went wheeling by it. I guess I can pull in at the second entrance here. A little more narrow. Yeah, we'll look at the map in a second. I want to show you something else I've been thinking about. We want Angus. We want the max. 12. Boom. 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 And we'll be buying animals, I think, for the foreseeable future. Our cow barn holds 2,000 animals. So we'll probably take it up to something like 1,800. And then leave some headroom for them to kind of breed and grow the herd themselves. We won't have to keep bringing stuff. Anyway, so I was looking at other things we can do. We definitely need to do the forestry that I mentioned. I've sold off just about everything we have to sell. We have some products that are around the 100,000 liters saved up range. A few more that are a little bit more than that, but most of what we have, most of our production lines are under 100,000 liters. So it doesn't make sense to do a lot of trips right now unless we really need the cash. You can see our bank balance up at the top right is 1.57 million. We're gonna spend some of that this episode. We'll also take a look at the used market, see if there's anything that's come up that we want. But one of the things I've been thinking about is we need to find a way to produce people. And I'll show you. Let me unload these cows first, and then I'll show you what I mean. I think we looked at this before, but there are several production lines that require people as a resource. And to get people, there is a building. It's an apartment building that we would need to purchase in place. And that apartment building needs like 6 or 7 different ingredients that we need to supply it in order to produce people that we can then ship out to different businesses. And we saw this before. We saw that the silver and gold are 2 of the things. We talked about getting the stone mine and the wash plant and stone processing. That is still on the list too. But we need red cabbage, hemp, and carrots as well in order to be able to recruit people for our other production lines. Back this guy up. And so we're going to look at producing those crops this episode, or talk about it. The hemp, the carrots, and the red cabbage. I did some looking into it. before we started this episode, and I learned some things that we're going to have to do in order to do that. Park this guy. I guess I'll unhook the trailer, pull forward a bit, hop out. If we get snow accumulation, by the way, we will pretty much stop what we're doing and start shoveling that up to save for our objectives. In fact, let's walk over here. Let's walk over to our silos, our liquid storage, and our pallet storage and just take a look. Let me show you what we've got stored up. Hey, in the silo, coal, 10 million. You might remember before we were short. We were at like 9.6 million in this silo. And the other display of our inventory was showing we had 10 million. That's because we had some over at the train station. So I filled this up. I mined more coal and brought it over here. So now we truly have met that 10 million liter objective for coal. Sand, you can see, is at 7.18 million. Iron ore is 6.87 million. And there's the salt. Man, did I do a lot of salt mining between episodes. I topped off the bakery. That has 1 million liters of salt in it. And what else? The nut house, straight ahead, has 1 million liters of salt in it. And then we have 3 million liters in this silo here, just for our 10 million liter objectives. Then you can see during the last snowfall, we managed to get 1.67 million liters of snow saved up towards our 10 million liter objective. And then there's just a whole bunch of other stuff there. We don't need to go through all those, but those are the big ones I wanted to mention. Here's our fuel tank. If we look at pallet storage, we've got 1.2 million steel stored up. Similar for nails, and then less sugars, barrels, a little bit of drill pipe. Apples, that was the one crop we chose to take out of the greenhouses and orchards to save and not sell. And then almonds and cashews, I'm not sure how. I think I accidentally maybe deposited some in here. And then I couldn't get them out or something. I'm not sure why we have those little low quantities of almonds and cashews. We could always take those out if we wanted, I imagine. And then for liquid, we have 4.9 million liters saved up of water. And that was water that we produced from hydrogen and oxygen straight ahead at the water tower there. And then we've got almost 1 million diesel saved up, 800,000 hydrogen and oxygen, and then just one batch of crude oil I brought over here. So that's how we're working towards, or that's how we stand with our 10 million liter objectives. If we look at the people requirements, let's go into production. If we look at, let's find a production line that requires people. I know one of them. There's a whole bunch, by the way. Or actually, the bakery has it. We can actually go into this display. So let's check out the bakery. Boom. You can see right here, there's production, right? It requires 3 people here, right at the middle of the screen. Bread doesn't, cake doesn't. Pasta, peanut butter, chocolate bars, oatmeal raisin bars, s'mores bars. These all require people. It's not much, but there's a whole bunch of recipes that do require people. It's not just the bakery. To get people, let's look at that again. I think we did look at this a couple episodes ago, but let's just refresh memories here. This one is a very distinct building, so I can pick it up pretty easy. This apartment right here. So we need water, piece of cake, red cabbage. That I was struggling to find out where we can grow that. Hemp we can grow. We have our headers. Our normal harvesting headers will be able to pull that off the fields or harvest that crop, and we have our seeders can do it too. Carrots, I was having a hard time. I found a planter and I could not find a way to harvest it, but I think I found the answer. Power, there's a building we can buy for that. I think that's coffee. We have that in our greenhouse now. And then silver and gold. That's over when we get the stone plant. We start processing stones. So that won't be too bad. We just need to buy a mine, buy a couple production buildings. And we'll see what those production lines are. But I think it's probably just like diesel and water and the ore in order to make those. Then we get the ore from producing the stone. So yeah, Red cabbage, hemp, carrots. How do we do carrots? I could not find a way to harvest carrots. But it turns out, if we look at the greenhouses, I've got, if you look at my list of mods, I have 8, right? 8 different greenhouses. I have 1 through 4 here, and I have 1 through 4 here, and the first ones say Angel Mountain. These are the ones that are built into the map. And then I have some other ones that are Old Man 102 mods, just available from his Trello download site that I've linked in the description. These ones are a little different. They have more stuff, which is strange, but at least 2 of them do. So if we look at Greenhouse 2, the one that's on our map produces these 6 ingredients. Like, I don't know if that's garlic or parsley, I don't know, beans, lettuce, green pepper. If we look at the placeable one, the one that's not, doesn't say Angel Mountain, boom, there's our carrots. There might be something else in here too. Carrots, let's see, 2 and 2. Yeah, there's a bunch of extra stuff. But the one we really care about is the carrots. That's something we need for the people. And then Greenhouse 3 has red cabbage. The Greenhouse 3 we have on the map that we purchased is this one. It doesn't have the red cabbage. So I think what we need to do, my plan, is for the cabbage and the carrots, let's place our own additional Greenhouse 3 and Greenhouse 2. That'll get us carrots and cabbage, and it'll be pretty much automatic. All we need to do is put in the compost, the herbicide, and some water, and out comes the goodies. And then if we get some extra broccoli and blueberries or whatever else is from these, no big deal. We'll sell it, or we'll store it, or process it. That's fine. Where to put those greenhouses? I want to put those... This is a lot of yakking here at the beginning of the episode. I want to put the greenhouses right... we could put them back here, actually, if we wanted to. I'm thinking of putting them right where this olive orchard is and where this grapevine place is, because we're not going to use these production ones. This makes it too easy. We're going to plant our own olives and grapes, and so that'll give us some room. We could put a couple greenhouses here. It'll fit nice. It'll be close to these greenhouses and orchards, and it looks like a decent place. It looks like it fits. We could actually cheat them over maybe a little bit and free up some more room. So that's what I'm planning to do with that. Greenhouse 3, Greenhouse 2, they cost $90,000 each. The bigger cost with those, however, is the land. The land's not cheap. This plot of land right here is where those, where the olive grove and the grapevines are, the vineyard. Lot 100 here, that is $441,000. So that's a lot of money just to, you know, place some businesses. However, when we, I think once we buy this land, we can sell the olive orchard and the grape vineyard and get a little bit of money back. There's also something we can sell over here. I think the soy milk thing, I don't think we sold that yet. Let's see if we can. That's over this way. I think it's back here. Isn't the soy milk straight ahead? Let's see if we can sell this. I don't know if we actually own this land yet or not. This just gets us regular milk out of soybeans. If it was soy milk and its own unique product, I would keep it. Okay, buy the soy milk mill for $75,000. I wonder if we have to actually buy the business before we can sell the building. That might be the case. Looks like it. The other question is, do we actually own the land where that is? Let's see if we can tell from the map if we own that. Boy, it's hard to tell because it's such a big map. Yeah, we do own that land. Huh. Must have to buy it to sell it. So, we're going to end up buying Field 100. We'll figure out what to do with that soy milk thing. Like I said, once we get a little more extra cash, maybe we'll buy it and sell it and see what what happens. We probably got to take a loss, but it would free up that land for us. Probably have to do the same thing with the orchard or the olive orchard and the vineyard for the grapes. But as soon as we plunk down those greenhouses, that'll be instantaneous. We'll start producing those products. We still need to get to the silver and the gold. The other ingredient is hemp. What can we do about hemp? What I'm thinking about doing for hemp is buying this field right here, 29. This guy has cotton. See, it shows here we can plant cabbage. And we can plant, I think it shows we can plant carrots here too. Maybe not. Shows we can plant red cabbage and carrots. But I don't know how to harvest those. So we'll do those. I think we can do those in the greenhouse and get away with it. But yeah, this guy has cotton. Pretty sure. Let's double check it. Field 29. Its growth cycle is just started. And just like we bought field 27 that had cotton on it, plowed that thing up and planted poplar, thinking let's buy 29, plow that thing down and get some hemp started because that'll take a while probably to grow. Then we'll save up some cash, buy this land up here, get those greenhouses. Then we'll have the red cabbage and carrots going along with the hemp. Then once we save up some more cash, we'll buy the stone mine way over here. That's this plot of land. That's 400,000. Not bad. But the processing and the wash plant, I think, are going to be like another 250, 300,000. And I guess we wouldn't have to buy this land, but it's all, yeah, we would have to buy this land to put down the wash plant. This is only 68,000. So that would get us our, I think, our gold and silver. And then the other ingredient we talked about for people is coffee, and we already have that in one of our greenhouses, I'm pretty sure. So that's the plan. Now, let's get to doing some work. I want to pay off debt before I forget. Let's do that. Pay off 20,000. We're down to 6.78 million. Slowly ticking down. And then let's buy that field. I think we can do it. And get that turned over while we still have the ground not covered with snow. So 29. Boom. 1.1 million. It's relatively close by. Other candidates could be field 9, field 14. Field 14 is kind of out of our price range. 9 we could do. Let's just take a quick look at 9. What does that have on it? Nine is in the first growth phase. 9 has wheat, right? No, well, 9 has sugar beets. We may buy that later and actually harvest that crop. That's a useful crop for us. 14 we saw is out of our price range. The other option is 46. I kind of looked at that. That has potatoes. They're in the third growth stage. But we could buy that field and plow it over. Not too much. 960,000. But let's do 52. Let's just do 52. Buy that guy. Boom. Another field. And let's get working on this field. And then while our workers are doing the plowing, we can get to doing some actual... hey, there's our plow right here. We can get to doing some forestry work, cutting down trees. Okay, where are we and where do we need to be? We're close by. We just need to wheel over a couple fields. There's our poplar. We need to head over this way, so let's do it. We'll just mulch and plow whatever is on 29. It's cotton, but it was just planted recently. Would have been nice if it already had the hemp on it, but no such luck. Still fairly early here, 8:45, December 3rd. I guess I can kick the time up. Single speed. We don't have a farm silo out here. We'll have to think about that too when it comes to harvest time, where we want to put a silo. We're surrounded by a river, so I guess maybe it doesn't matter. We'll just pick a spot and do it. Maybe we get by with close to the road or something. This one, I think I'm going to put horseplay on this. Let's expand the mulcher. Yeah, let's do horseplay on this guy. Great job. Horseplay field work. The field is here. Target position, I guess we'll start down here. Hopefully they will do what I want. And that is field, which field is that? 29. Generate the course. That is not the direction I want it to go. Let's pull this over so we can see. Oh man, look at this. That can go out of the way. Yeah, I don't want to go in that direction. Let's see if we can try that again. Clear current course. Let's start again. Great job. That's right. This one, we went down here. Let's try it again. Oh, maybe it didn't clear the course for me. Let's see if we can get that. Clear current course. Boom. Try it again. Yeah, it's still doing up and down. All right, give me a second. I'll get it worked out, and I'll be right back. All right, I think I finally got a course the way I want it. I do want it to go on the short edge. I'm going to double check that decision before we save this course because I want to see how close we are to this water. But I had to turn up-down row direction to manual, and then I set the up-down row angle to 90. Again, my goal was to work towards the back of the field, towards the road, our main road. That was my objective. I got it done. However, I do, before we set that job running, I want to just check our clearance over on the far side of the field because this plow is huge and this thing makes some very, very wide turns. In fact, those trees might even get in the way. We'll have to see. I don't want this guy pulling into traffic. I don't want him falling into the water either. Seems like we would have enough space over here, right? I would think. But man, this plow does pull far, far out. If it became a problem, we just get a smaller plow. Just going to cost a little bit more in worker wages every time we turn over field and be a little slower. I want to look at the far side of the field too. Let's get some of the noise out of our way here. Should have enough room. That's a ton of space, right? Yeah, we could probably go either way. All right, let's load up that course and see what we can do. So we have a course loaded. Now we need to save it. This is which field again? 29. So let's get a new folder here for 29. Save, pick 29, and then now we name this F29 mulch and plow. Boom. Now it's saved, it's loaded. I think I can just say go to the first waypoint. 29 mulch and plow. Let's we'll just kind of keep an eye and see what happens here. See if this thing gets started. But this will be good. This will be our hemp field. We can get that planted and growing. In fact, we'll go chase our cedar. Why don't we do that? Yeah, this guy's probably going to make a bunch of circles around the field. Let's go see if we can find our cedar. This guy might do it. Let's see. Will you plant? Whoops. I just dumped out my seed here at the wrong button. Load that back up. Okay, let's cycle through the seeds. See if we can find hemp. See, we can plant the red cabbage, but I just don't know how to harvest that. There it is right there. Let's grab this last pallet of seed, fill back up, and then we'll head over to that field. Oh man, we're getting the snow. Let's park this guy off to the side for a minute. Looks like our plow's doing its thing. I'm going to tab over to it. See if it's doing a decent job. Yeah, looks like we're in good shape there. Curious about what this field needs. Hopefully it doesn't need fertilized. 100% fertilized. It still says growing cotton here. There we go. 100%. Let's take a look at the big map. Curious to see if this thing needs lime. And then we need to get, if not, we need to get our no, we don't need the fertilizer spreader. That would be cool. So we're at least saving something from that crop that we're plowing under. At least we don't have to fertilize. Map's loading up now. That is fully fertilized and does not need lime. Waiting for the map to load. Yeah, we're good. We're really good on that one. In fact, our cedar, we're probably going to waste some fertilizer. I don't know if there's a way to disable that. I guess we could empty it. Maybe we will. That's a lot of extra money just to dump fertilizer down. We'll have to remember to do that before we set our cedar out to empty out the fertilizer if we can. Incidentally, I was going to mention this, our poplar field shows that it needs rolling. I'm not going to do it. It just doesn't make sense to roll those little sprouts. So we're going to forego that step. All right, that's going. Let's tab into our cedar. And let's see. Let's see if I can empty out the supply again. Oh man, how am I supposed to tell which one's a seed? That, I think, is our seed, right? Let's move this. Kind of near the road. I think this is our fertilizer. I'm not positive. But I'm going to go with my guess and push this if I can. Push it. It's harder than it looks. Guessing that's our fertilizer. Because when we set a worker on this field, I don't want them to drop fertilizer because it's already fully fertilized. And I think it probably would. And that would cost us a fair amount of cash that we don't need to spend. Yeah, there comes the seed. Will it stop now? Is this thing going to stop without fertilizer? Can't try it yet. Worst case, if we have to dump another layer of fertilizer, so be it. But hopefully we don't. Oh, man. Keep clicking the wrong button. All right, that's it. Let's get to cutting trees while our plow is running. Oh man, is he gonna have problems with these trees? You can see how far he comes out. Looks like it's gonna be okay. Like I said, we can always change to a smaller plow if we have to. All right, here's our tree harvester. Let's get on it. It occurs to me on that new field, 29, just south of that field, there's actually some room there we could put grapes if we want to also. And it'd be near where we're doing the other grape stuff. So we might think about it. All this stretch here, we're going to put grapevines in. A lot of trees here. They're kind of spaced far apart, which is going to make this a little slower. But here we go. we've cut down a whole bunch of trees. We're not even close to being halfway done. We're about halfway done on this side of the river. Not even halfway done on this side of the river, really, because I left a couple rows there. And then we have the whole far side of the river to do, and then maybe even just south of the new field we bought. But let's check on things. We'll take a break from tree cutting. Let's see how our plow is doing. Would love to get all of this equipment under shelter. We're going to need the truck. Let's take the truck while I've got this actively tabbed too. Looks like the roads are still dry, so we don't need to scurry and start plowing yet. I'm going to take this trailer with me down to Mammoth Mill. And then I'm going to go fetch our logging trailer and we'll deliver some logs. But then I also want to check on our plow, and I want to see how our clover field is doing. We didn't check in on that. That is due to be harvestable pretty soon. We can get workers on that too. That'll be a nice new batch of clover. We could think about buying another apiary. We only have one. That'll get us by for a while. Incidentally, we're talking the beginning of the episode, talking for about an hour, it seemed like, about being able to produce people. The beeswax that we're producing out of the apiaries, one of the things we can make with those are wax figures. And those require people in order to make their wax figures. So that's another reason why we need to be thinking about being able to produce people and deploy them to our businesses. Then we can make more use of our wax. We can also use the wax for crayons. I think I mentioned that. We might get into that business before too long. Yeah, roads still look clear. Got a little traffic pile up here. Snowy weather December 3rd. We got one more day in this month, and we'll see what January brings. Probably will bring, hopefully it'll bring some crops for us to harvest. We'll see. Might just be clover is the only thing that we've got that's close. But it'll be good to get this hemp planted. Let's take a look at the fields real quick. 21's the one I'm interested in. Let's get to growth. Yeah, still not ready to harvest. And then our wheat field, we have 2 wheat fields. They're in the second stage of growth. Man, that takes forever. So that's a good thing, I think, that we're getting this field going. We may get more fields here soon. Maybe even this 46 once it turns over. Maybe we'll get that and plow it over and do something there. It's not very expensive. And then these guys, 9 and 14, aren't too bad price-wise. Could get those and get more fields going. I mentioned early on I want to get 33 and 34 and line those with more apiaries and plant sunflower and canola, but it's not urgent. Looks like our workers doing their thing. Let's go check in on the plow and see. He does cut off a good section of grass every time he makes a row, but that's fine. We don't really need that grass. Let's get our seeder. I think it's not going to want to work if it's not full. I'll need to go into settings and turn off the auto refill. I'm going to go ahead and expand this. Do I want to do course play or regular? I might do course play here, just maybe a temporary course play course. Just because the helpers seem not to like these large fields on this map for some reason. Let's see, we're set to hemp. I don't have any fertilizer. Don't think there's a setting here to turn off the fertilizing, right? Doesn't look like it. Let's go into settings. We may have to just load up with fertilizer and eat the cost. I want to go into settings and turn off the refill, automatic refill. Where is that? Fertilizer, boom. Let's turn that off for now. We'll just see what we get. Do we need to do it on course play 2? Let's start with a regular worker just to see if this is going to run. I think it's going to complain. But let's just see. Is it fertilizing? It's hard to know. Shouldn't be. I don't know. There's a way for me to tell. It shows no fertilizer. Let's double check and make sure that setting took. Refill fertilizer off. Maybe it's going to work. Maybe it's going to work. I'm going to pause it because we need to get our plow further ahead. This guy's going to catch up in no time. But maybe that'll work. That'll save us some cash. In theory. What else? There's the salt mine if you want to see it. Been digging. About 4 million liters of salt probably between episodes. It's heavy. It's kind of like the coal, actually. A little bit hard. Alright, what else? We want to change trucks. Let's go pick up some logs, take it to the sawmill. Get that thing loaded up. And then maybe next episode we'll start in and grind some stumps and pick up more logs. 'Cause we have a lot. We have a lot of forestry to do. And again, we're going to get this land that we're clearing, we're going to hopefully use for grapes in the spring, if not sooner. We'll see what makes sense. This is my first winter on Farming Simulator, so I'm not sure what to expect. We're going to be loaded with snow for another 2 months. Or what? If it's going to prevent us from working our fields, I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll take it as it comes. We do have some other things to do over here on the left by our forestry area. All that grass. I'd like to cut that, change that texture to just forest texture, and actually hand plant some trees. So when we get a chunk of time, I'd like to do that. And then you can see I've been clearing out these generic trees straight ahead between episodes, chewing a few of them back. I want to get those cleared out and get more natural looking trees placed. Alright, let's head up this road. That is our brand new field. It's about to be hemp. It's going to take a while for that plow to run through. We may even have to repair that plow one time. And look at all those trees straight ahead. Those are all trees we can cut too. We may never have to run our replanter outside of doing the poplar. Look like trees were pretty far apart. Not that many, but on a 16x map, even when they're far apart, man, it adds up to a lot. All right, I'm looking for stumps. Here we go. This is the older autoload, or the one we were using. Couldn't find a good autoload for timber. This one's a little slow, makes you stop 100% of the way. It's gonna be a little hard to see these logs too. I don't think the lights help. All right, here we go. We're gonna pick up a bunch of logs and make some trips to the sawmill. man, these are hard for me to see. I'm a bit red-green colorblind, and they are not poking out at me. I know there's one we just drove by. What we'll do next episode, or between episodes, I will chop down these stumps. We'll clear out the rest of the trees. Chop down as many stumps as we can see. Clear out the logs, obviously, with the log trailer. And then we'll cut this grass just to make sure that it is clear. I don't think we're really going to need to cut our own grass. I think we'll be able to have helpers do it on that clover field, and we'll get plenty of grass. But we'll do it here just to make sure that this land is well prepared for the grapevines and we don't run into issues in the spring when we're planning to plant those. Did I get everything over here? I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure I missed some. They will be found sooner or later, these logs. This will be the last load here on camera. Then we'll call it an episode. We'll take a quick look at where things stand production-wise. Just grab these last logs that I can see. We do have a lot. We just have a lot of trees to cut. But that's a good thing. We can make use of this wood for sure. For a 10 million liter objective and for sawdust and planks at the sawmill. And then if we really get a surplus, we could sell it at the heating plant. Now the heating plant doesn't give us much money for them, but we could do it. Yeah, let's take this last load. Need to wash this truck too at some point. It's getting pretty bad. Lots of paint wear too, but I'm not going to be spending money on paint for quite a long time, if ever. So bring this back to the sawmill and we'll take a look. See how the plow's doing over on our new hemp field, or what will become our new hemp field. And then just take a look at our productions and see what our inventories are looking like in our different businesses. Particularly the oil refinery. I'm a little concerned about that. We might need a second oil rig. It's hard to keep up with the amount of hydrogen and oxygen that thing throws off. It does tend to back up the refinery. So a second oil rig might just make that happen even more often. And I'd rather not be completely consumed with that task and starve out the other stuff we have to do. So we'll see. One oil rig, even if the refinery isn't fully utilized, we may stick with one oil rig for the foreseeable. We do need to save up a lot of crude too, but we'll see. I can see we got a bunch of pallets of planks that need to be moved. Maybe next episode we'll get the forklift out and do that on camera. I kind of have fun with that. I enjoy it now that I'm used to it. All right, last load of logs here. If I can hit the right button, boom. And if we look over at the bottom right, we have 217,000. Got room for some more, and then once that's filled up to 250,000, we can always put them in the log storage. I believe that one's going to hold 5 million for us. Let's just out of curiosity see how many logs we have saved up. Looks like we're at 385,000. So lots of room. Lots of room in there. And then, like I said, I did leave the heating plant here. We'll see. We may get into using that again. Wasn't planning on it. And originally I was hoping we'd get like $25,000, $30,000 a load of logs, but it's more like 8,000 or 9,000. All right, let's look at businesses. Boom, take it from the top. There's our sawmill. Not many planks to speak of. We do have wood chips we can move over to Mammoth Mill. Oh yeah, these planks are spawn. My bad. These planks will go to the carpentry mill. Apiary. Here's that wax I was talking about. Crayons and the wax figures. Can't do wax figures till we get people. We could do crayons if we wanted to get in that business anytime now, actually. I don't see it as real urgent, though. I think that's going to be fair. We're not going to sell, so it's not going to make us any money. It's just saving up 10 million liters of crayons. Bakery. It's pretty much loaded up with sugar, loaded up with diesel, brought strawberries, water's loaded. There's salt. Loaded this thing to the hilt between episodes. And it has some molasses too. I've been selling molasses out of the sugar mill. We've been getting really good money for molasses. I can show you that real quick. Man, that's been a cash crop. They had it in the plastic. I'll stop at both of those as we come across them if I can pick them out. There's our molasses. Look at the Wonder Worm. $760 per 1,000 liters. So that's been making us a lot of money. Very few of our products with the economic difficulty set to hard get past 700. That's one of them. Once we buy the Wonder Worm, though, once we buy that business, then our next best bet is the hotel, and that's quite a bit cheaper. So we'll try to hold off buying the Wonder Worm and sell molasses. I think we're going to end up with extra molasses because we have so many production lines that require sugar and not nearly as many that require molasses. And these are produced at the same rate. So it's good to sell it. And then plastic right here. We've been selling that for $520,000 at the oil press. What's nice about this, I can go pick this up at the refinery and take 200,000 liters on our pallet trailer. So it's a one trip, decent amount of cash. It usually comes out to a little over 100 grand, as you might imagine. 200,000 times, or 200 times 520 is what that comes out to be. Okay, back to productions real quick. Carpentry mill does need planks. This is just sitting waiting. Plenty of nails, plenty of coal. Pallets, we need to deliver some of these before this hits its max. I think we need to take these over to actually the bakery. I don't think we have any in there. Here's the bakery. Yeah, we need pallets. There's workers. We saw that earlier. Compost, not much going on in the composter. It's got 300,000 liters and it's pretty much empty. Not processing anything. Banana chips, pretty low. 41,000 for those. Not anywhere near being ready to sell, I don't think. Could use some boxes too, maybe. Mill, we have flour we could take over to the bakery. Has some pallets, plenty of fuel. We just don't have crops to bring over here yet. Let's look at our greenhouses. These are all going to be about the same. 60,000. Mustard for some reason has 91, and so does black pepper. Maybe I missed those or something last time I sold, or we just took a half a batch or something. Yeah, 70,000 on those. 70,000 on greenhouse 3. Greenhouse 2, same thing. Ice cubes, we're getting up to 100,000. These sell, I think, for like 500. And then Mammoth Mill, how we doing here? We're getting a little low on ore. Coal I topped off between episodes. Sand I topped off between episodes. It's processing it. Tons of plastic for plastic bags. So even though I've been selling a lot of plastic, we have a ton. Drill pipe, not enough to deliver yet. Nails, we could put some in storage. But overall, this is all looking fine. Jars are getting close to being able to sell. Nut house is doing all right. 125,000 mixed nuts. We get more of these, much more of these than we do the nut shells. That's looking good. Let's see here. We talked about the oil well. Yeah, we have a load of crude we could take. Our tanker carries 100,000. Has plenty of coal. Burns through this really slow. We have a bunch, like I mentioned, at the rail station, already mined at the rail station near the coal mine. We just need to haul it over there and then deliver it by truck to the oil well. I've been holding off because I don't know if I'm going to start up another one or not. All right, Old Man's Mill, walkers and wheelchairs. Would love to start storing these, but we're probably going to sell them because I'm still pretty thirsty for new fields and we need the cash. Our 2 orchards, same thing as the greenhouses, right around 70,000, a little more. They're doing fine on water and everything else. I've been dumping a lot of water into all of these between episodes, so there should be stocked on that for a good long time. Here's the refinery. Right now, this guy is starved out on crude. We'll have to bring some over. These sacks are loaded up. Once we get wood chips, we can start making charcoal here at the refinery. A little bit of oxygen to get out of here, and oxygen and hydrogen, and then we have a little bit of diesel. Sugar house doing its thing. Sugar beets, we probably want to load this up soon. Think we still have plenty of sugar beets over by the field silo. That would make sense to do either between episodes, or maybe we'll do that next episode if I can remember. Want to keep this thing running. We can always run them through our Beat Ninja trailer and get double production lines. But like I said, we need a ton of sugar, and this molasses is a cash crop. It'd be good to keep this thing running while we have beets. Something just changed in the background. Think snow might be collecting. And then our waterworks, this is basically done. I just need to empty this water out into our liquid storage, and it should end up adding up to 10 million liters or more. Check it out. Snow has collected. So yeah, I might do some of this between episode. I'll fetch the wheel loader from the salt mine. Last time I scooped up a bunch of snow just from this area, and it wasn't bad, but I might go out to a field too. That way I don't have to cart that snow all the way back up to our farm silo. I can just put it in a local field silo and take advantage of the proximity and then haul that snow later. Yeah, not bad. We'll maybe start scooping some of this up. Work towards the 10 million liter objective on snow while we can. While the getting's good. But for now, yeah, we'll leave it here. Let's look at the plow real fast. See if it still works. I don't know that we can seed in the snow. Looks like the plow's still doing its thing over there. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have a problem. So let that thing run, plow under that cotton planting, and then I don't think we can seed in the snow. We might try. I'll try to avoid harvesting in the snow if we can help it. But man, we have a lot of grain to grow. We have a lot of stuff to grow. But yeah, we'll let this thing run. For now, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this series in Farming Simulator 22, the Angel Mountain map. I'm having a ton of fun with this challenge. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me know your suggestions in the comments. I do also have another channel just called Glidercat if you want to check out games typically in the automation and city builder genres. So you can just check that out. It's Glidercat. And I'll see you all in the next episode.